here, your favorite ginger bibliophile. Hope you're all doing really well, and I hope you're in the mood for a grim tale, because that's what I've got for you today. But if that's not your thing, check the description box down below, and I've got all the puppies and, yeah, all the like cross stitch and the fantasy and all the other just random fun bookish stuff. But today we've got another tale that I have never heard of, but hopefully it's a fun one. It's definitely a very short one, so hopefully y'all will enjoy it and we'll have a good time. And maybe we'll get a visit, maybe not. Little man did just come visit me like 10 minutes ago when I was filming the video before this, so yes, this is the same shirt. It's going to be on different weeks, but it's all good. We just chilling. And then we've got, I don't realize you can see some of my other stuff inside there. But whatever. So the story that we have today is the three languages. Well, I'm doomed because I can't even speak one language properly without getting tongue-tied. So my mind is going wee, as y'all can already tell, because this intro is crazy. But I don't believe in editing that stuff out, because you know what? I'm me. Maybe it'll make y'all feel better and less messed up when you see how messed up I am. So we're gonna run with that and see if we can get through a story without mispronouncing stuff. What do you want to bet? There was once an old count who lived in Switzerland. He had only he had an only son who was quite stupid and could not learn anything. Well, aren't they such nice parents from the first word? Jeez. Listen, my son, the father said. I can't get anything to sink into your head, no matter how much I try. So I'm sending you away from here and placing you under the care of a famous master. Let's see what he can do with you. The young man was sent to a strange city and stayed with the master for a whole year. At the end of this time, he came home, and his father asked, Well, my son, what have you learned? Father, he responded, I have learned to understand the barking of the dogs. May God have mercy on us, the father exclaimed. Is that all you've learned? Well, now I'm going to send you to a master in another city. The young man was taken there and stayed 1 year with this master as well. When he came back home, his father asked again, My son, what have you learned? Father, he responded, I have learned to understand the language of the birds. I wish I could do that. If I could talk to the animals, things would be a lot easier. And maybe I could make friends with the bunnies and not have to fight this butthead. Well, I'm pretty sure he understands. He just refuses to listen when I tell him not to chase things. And thinks he's gonna get out of it with a cute face. The father became infuriated and said, You're hopeless. Why have I wasted all this valuable time? You've wasted all this valuable time and have learned nothing. See, I told you I couldn't even do one language. And you're not even ashamed to appear before my eyes? Well, I'm going to send you to a third master. But if you don't learn anything this time, I'm no longer going to be your father. Okay, he might be stupid, but father kind of sucks. So, is it really a loss? The son spent a whole year with the third master, too. And when he returned home, the father asked, My son, what have you learned? Dear father, he responded, I have learned to understand the croaking of the frogs. Okay, not as cool as the birds and the dogs, but you know, it'd be kind of cool on the rare occasions I get one on the porch. Now the father was so infuriated that he jumped up, summoned his men, and said, This creature is no longer my son. I'm expelling him and want you to take him out into the forest and kill him. You could have just kicked him out, see if he could make some friends and learn on his own. The count's men took him into the forest, but they felt so sorry for the son that they could not bring themselves to kill him and let him go. Snow White vibes. Then they cut out the eyes and tongue of a deer. Why are they always abusing the poor deer for stupid royalty? The deer is way cuter. They cut out the eyes and tongue of a deer to provide the old man with proof of their deed. Stupids. Could have just offed the human. Meanwhile, the young man wandered about, and after some time he came to a castle where he asked for a night's lodging. All right, said the lord of the castle, if you're prepared to spend the night in the old tower. You may go there, but let me warn you that you'll be risking your life. The tower is full of wild dogs that bark and howl continually, and at certain times they must be given a human being whom they devour right away. There's some crappy humans. That might be the only thing that they ever do worthwhile with their life. The entire region had been enduring great sorrow and suffering because of this, and yet nobody could do anything about it. However, the young man was fearless and said, "I shall go down and face the barking dogs. Just give me something that I can throw to them. They won't harm me." Since he insisted, they gave him some food for the wild beasts and brought him down to the tower. When he entered, the dogs did not bark, but wagged their tails in a friendly way and gathered around him. They ate what he set before them and did not touch a hair of his head. The next morning, to everyone's astonishment, he reappeared alive and well and said to the lord of the castle, "The dogs have spoken to me in their language and revealed to me why they've been dwelling here and causing terror in your country. They're under a curse and are compelled to protect a great treasure lying under the tower. They'll never find peace until the treasure is dug up, and they told me how this can be done." All those who heard this rejoiced, and the lord of the castle said he would adopt him as his son if he could accomplish his task successfully. Excuse me, it's past my nap time. The young count went back down to the tower, and since he knew what was to be done, he completed it and brought up a chest filled with gold. From then on, the wild dogs no longer howled, nor were they ever seen again, and the land was freed from this plague. See, it's not bad doggies, it's bad humans. They were cursed. Stupid humans. After a while, the young man decided to go to Rome, and along the way he passed a swamp where some frogs were sitting and croaking. He stopped and listened, and when he heard what they were saying, he grew very pensive and sad. It might be nap time before reading sprints. At last, when he arrived in Rome, he learned that the Pope had just died and the cardinals could not agree on a successor. Eventually, they resolved to wait for a divine miracle to reveal the person they should elect. At the very moment that they came to this decision, the young count happened to enter the church, and two white doves swooped down to his shoulders and rested on them. The cardinals recognized this as a sign from God. Sorry, usually don't yawn that much. Well, then again, it is 2 o'clock and I usually get a nap at like noon. The cardinals recognized this as a sign from God and asked on the spot whether he wanted to be pope. At first, he was undecided and did not know if he was worthy enough, but the doves persuaded him to do it, and finally he consented. He was anointed and consecrated, and thus the prophecy that he had heard from the frogs along the way was fulfilled. Indeed, it had been this very prophecy that had upset him, for he had not expected to become the Holy Pope. After that, he had to sing Mass and did not know a single word of it. The two doves were still sitting on his shoulders and whispered the words in his ear. That was kind of sweet. Naturally, not dark aside from what they cruelly did to the poor deer. Could have just got rid of the rude king. But that's just me. I will always pick the animals. Animals have never done me dirty. Except for bees that, for some reason, think I'm a flower. I keep telling them I'm not, but no, they want to chase me. But that actually was not terribly grim. So hopefully y'all enjoyed it despite all my yawning. Okay. Excuse me. Yep. Definitely my nap time. Hopefully y'all are less tired. Unlike that one. I don't know how well you can see little man with that, glare from the window, but he's having a little sleepy sleep. Franny's conked out. And I'm gonna go to bed, and I will see you next week with another tale. Bye. Happy reading.